G'day and welcome back to another Semen retention video where we talk about semen retention, men's health, all the esoteric teachings that I can give you on the top of my dome. So today I am here just enjoying a bit of nature. As you can see behind me, there's some reeds. You look over here, we've got a birdland kind of wet area. This is close to my house, and it's basically a natural reserve. I want to talk about how semen retention gets you in touch with your natural primal being. Like, I look at these birds and it's sad what us as human beings have done to this planet. And basically the way that we have to create these conservation areas because we don't lack the self-control to stop spawning human beings that shouldn't necessarily be here, because it was done without intention, and so generations keep occurring, multiplying. We keep taking up land, and other species have to suffer because we don't know how to practice self-control. We don't know how to practice semen retention. We don't know how to cultivate our energy into something else, something more meaningful than just, incubating someone. Don't mind me, I'm just having a morning coffee. So when it comes to the primal being, look, I'm not going to deny every animal needs to have sex, every animal needs to procreate. That's how we continue as, species. It's quite obvious. But when you're on SR, you start to realize that there's something deeper than just the fleshly desires, I guess you could say, the physical. And it's one of those things that I think about, that it's just like, well, we should be getting into these kind of scenarios, like, putting ourselves in environments like this. Not necessarily caging ourselves, but at least embracing just a more open, relaxing kind of world, and more open, relaxing habitat. Whereas if I were to cut down all these reeds behind me, you'd just see a road full of cars. I've been riding my bike around a lot. I've actually been enjoying that. So part of my my semen retention penalty, when I did the deed with a former flame 11 months ago, close to 11 months. Damn, 1 week from now and I'll hit 11 months, which is pretty awesome. 11-month semen retention streak here, guys. Get around it. I'll get around you guys on any part of your journey as well. So basically what I realized is that I got penalized because I released my life force energy with someone that I shouldn't have. That was a connection based on purely lust. There was no intellectual kind of stimulation there. There was no genuine, shared kind of feedback. And the irony of it is that even though I was operating in a place of lust, I was providing more for her than I would have if I just left it as what it is for lust. I was almost giving her a boyfriend experience, but I didn't actually, I wasn't honest enough to admit to myself that this is just lust. You should let it go. This isn't a long-term thing. So when I did the deed with her 11 months ago, I got penalized for it, and that's why I rode my bike, is because I lost my license. So I have lost my license. But the good thing about these penalties is that, God, the Most High, even the Matrix, even systems within the matrix like the law and order and all that kind of stuff, that's literally what they do, law and order. They're trying to put things back in order, and to be fair, like I accumulated too many speeding fines. I needed to learn how to slow down, and that's what I'm doing now. My undertaking. So I've got 3 months of no license, but it doesn't end after that. When I get my car back, like I've got my car, but when I get my license back, I'm gonna still maintain this slow lifestyle. So we're looking here at the birds over here. Look at them. They're just slowly moving around. Here we have a couple of birds coming back to the pond. But look at them all. They're just slowly walking around. How many birds are anxious? How many birds do you see that are stressing out? None of them. None of them are stressing out. None of them are anxious. None of them are worrying about what the exact time is of the day. None of them are worrying about how loud they are compared to their neighbours. They're literally in an open field. I live in a unit connected to another unit. I got to be quiet after 10 o'clock. I've never had a discussion with anyone. We've never set rules being like, we got to be quiet after 10 o'clock. But that's the feeling. It's that we can't, we got to go to bed. We got to do that. If they're working in their house during the day, I can't sing and play guitar and do all those loud things because, we're locked into this working kind of matrix where it's kind of like, well, yeah, you need to maintain the peace and quiet. Whereas you got these birds over here going, like they're making noises all the time. They're tapped into that primal thing. That's what I'm talking about. That primal, instinctive kind of human. Look, I don't even know whether we evolved from apes or whether we were some sort of genetically modified organism from another species to give us these advanced, beyond Earth-like perspectives. Because if you look at the way nature and from a flora and a fauna point of view, like all the plants, they germinate, they grow, they sprout, they go through the seasons, they drop leaves, they keep growing, they prune, and then eventually they die, but then they've already respawned, and so it ensues and continues on. Same thing goes with animals. Some animals die out over times and all that kind of stuff, but human beings are a little bit different. I think human beings, we seem to have made a longer impression. We seem to have made a longer, we've seemed to have made a deeper impact on this earth. And don't get me wrong, I'm not some, devout environmentalist or I don't even believe in climate change, to be honest. Yep, I'm putting it out there, whatever, who cares? I just think that a lot of those things are just distractions and ways to manipulate masses into following and going into new kind of new traps, just new ideologies to get them trapped into something. Then they can go buy $700 worth of merchandise to go advertise this idea, when all those proceeds for the merchandise go to some not-for-profit company that is, a charity that's tax deductible for whoever's owning it, and therefore that billionaire gets another loophole out of the system for paying tax, so it's just, when you see through all that kind of stuff, it's kind of hard to look at things like climate change seriously. And all you need to do is look up into the sky and observe what is actually going on in the sky. And that should give you enough kind of insight to understand that, the way our weathers work isn't necessarily man-made through the ways that we're expelling fossil fuels and CO2 into the atmosphere. It's more of just something to do with maybe modifying certain elements together in order to create catastrophic weather events that suit a kind of attack or warfare upon the public. All right, now getting back to that, that's a good example about science and how science and that kind of man-made kind of logical thinking, that kind of neurotic, almost you could say, neurotic way of thinking about things has led to the downfall of humanity. But it also has led to many great things for humanity. Like, for example, my bike. Like, how awesome is it that we don't even have to put fuel into this thing? And we can ride around, go, 40 kilometers an hour, which is pretty fast. Like, it's not as fast as a car, and then we got trains, we got buses, all that kind of stuff. And then we got cars as well. Like, so I'm not going to sit here and say that man's inventions are bad. But I just wanted to say that, like on SR, it's like you tap into more of that, wanting to just relax and be connected with the environment. It's so beautiful. Like, we've got these beautiful plants, we've got these beautiful trees, these beautiful animals. And it's quite artistic when you just look at it for what it is. It's very beautiful, and we're lucky to be living in a world that has these things on offer. I think it's one of those things that we just have to really tap into. And we practice stoicism as men to deal with the kind of tribulations of life, and all these kind of things are set against us, because I'm not gonna be in denial. I think there's many things that just try and put us into a lower state and into a submissive kind of, like, almost like a victim state, and not just a victim, but we're also we're the persecutor as well. Like, we're the criminal as well. They put us into both of these states of mind to kind of confuse us and make us feel bad about things. But the good thing about nature is that it gets you in touch with your natural heart-opening kind of self, your pure love kind of self. And this isn't anything that you can feel from any other human being. You have to feel this. You have to feel that pure love from within yourself. And trust me, I had someone comment, I'm on a bit of a streak. I need some help, to get rid of these feelings. Well, you need to open up your heart. Okay, so actually, I'm gonna do this. Okay, so let's see how this goes. I can't go too far. Okay, so here's my body. Yeah, you can't see on the screen, but basically we've got from here, below here, like where my fingers are, is, where the goods are. Underneath there is our root chakra. Root chakra, sacral chakra, solar plexus, heart, throat, third eye, crown. So when you are on SR, it travels all the way up your body. Your semen travels actually from the back. It goes up your spine. Then it goes all the way up your spine, and then it goes into your head and releases dimethyltryptamine into your bloodstream, and helps you helps you awaken your third eye and your crown, thus seeing the world from the spiritual lenses that we naturally have always seen the world since we were kids, but we were programmed and we consume foods as we grow that cut off those things. So it is literally nutritional. I'm drinking coffee. That's not a good thing for you. It makes you anxious, but I'm going to be riding around, so I should be able to ride it out. So when you're feeling that built up energy, you're feeling it built up here. So you're feeling it built up in your sacral chakra or even your root chakra. So these are the lowest two main chakras in our being. We have thousands of chakras, maybe even billions of chakras within our body. But these ones are like giant, supermassive black holes, you know what I mean? So the sacral chakra is where all your creative and your sexual energy comes from. So you need to transmute that. And how you can lift it up is you can go into like a physical realm. So you could do a workout, get pumping, all that kind of stuff. You could be creative. You could write. You could do some affirmations, like say to yourself, I am the best. I am, grateful. I am abundant. I am blessed. I am a god. Maybe don't say I am a god, depending on what you believe in, but I do, because I think we all can create our realities to a degree, but we are not God, if that makes sense. So anyway, so when it comes to that kind of thing, you can transmute that energy up. Now once you get past the kind of workout, that maybe you work out a lot to kind of lift that energy up, that's when you start to go into more of the spiritual half of your body, which is from the heart up to the top of your head. So in order to open up your heart and allow that energy to run up through to your heart, you need to do things like yoga, meditation, being a good person, coming from a loving perspective, doing something for others that comes with no strings attached. You don't need to be paid for it, you're doing some charity work. Maybe you're just doing something nice, like cleaning up some rubbish that's on the right side of the road because you respect the land that you walk on. And then there's stuff there's stuff like going into nature, getting amongst here. And the heart chakra is associated with the color green as well. And when you put yourselves in these kind of environments, all this beautiful green, all these different beautiful textures of green here, naturally, as earthly beings, we feel at home. And I think the feeling of love is essentially the feeling of being at home. And home, as they say, is where the heart is. So when it comes to ascending your spiritual energy, your sexual energy, your semen retention, moving up into your heart, you need to feel at home. And honestly, I don't feel any more at home than I do in nature, whether it be out in a wetlands, forest, even a countryside, a river, a beach, a mountain, a cave, whatever. There's so many different places. Even the desert can feel very, very beautiful. So you need to get yourself out of these walls, these literal fences that we build around ourselves. All these fences, these roofs. Look at all these cobwebs. Look at that. All these cobwebs. Where do you see these cobwebs on these plants out here? You don't see them. The spiders don't hang out of here. The spiders don't, they move around, they go into trees and stuff, and, they never expose themselves to the direct sun. They're always in shady areas. So all those parasites, all those kind of nasty creatures are always hiding in the dark. That's where the cobwebs dwell. It's where we get all our spiders. use that as a metaphor. If you stay inside, all those cobwebs are going to start, going onto your being, and you need to shake off the cobwebs, as they say. Move out of your house. Shake them off. Go for a swim. That's the best thing you can do. If you can get into the ocean or a river, that is 100% the best thing you can do to your body as far as a natural cleansing and purification kind of process. No sauna, no like steam room, like no flotation tank or any of that kind of bullshit, high technology kind of, all that crap, magnesium baths, all that bullshit. That means nothing compared to the actual ocean and the rivers that we've got. So get yourself out. You need to move out of your house. You need to stop allowing yourself to just dwell in that lower state of energy. Get in touch with nature again. Become part of that primal, instinctual, natural human being that you always were. And you'll find the rest of your SR journey, if you build a habit from this, like build a habit of getting out, and don't make it, once you build the habit, it's going to be one of those things that you just beautifully, you're naturally just on cruise control for the rest of your journey. But when it comes to building habits, don't get into a predictable cycle of what you're going to do every single time. Walk a different way around your walking route. Go for a ride instead one day. Go for a swim. Go for a run. Maybe just do a really intense workout doing aerobics. Just make sure you change things up. Keep it interesting. Keep life fun for you. Figure out, have I ever walked around that street before? Do I know if there's any secret little alleyways between these streets? That's what I like doing now. Is that I like riding my bike around or going for a walk and being like, I wonder what's on this street. And then maybe you see like a cool house, or you see a cool car, or there's a little alleyway that you've never known about before. And then it's just like, you view life like a video game. You view life as like a thing that you can just like, breeze through and level up in different ways. Anyway, so I'm going to end it there for you guys. That's 22 minutes and 22 seconds. Thank you so much for tuning in to Stephen Retention. Catch you on the next one. See you guys.